Hey guys, thank you very much for joining again. And I really appreciate that you join all the time. And there are some of you who join me all the times, and I thank you very much for that. Uh, Today's topic will be about the trade license. I guess most of you following me already know what trade license is, but if you don't, then let me sum up. So trade license is a license, also called a business license or freelancing license or self-employed license, however we want to call it. It's always just the same thing. That's a license allowing you to run business in the Czech Republic as a freelancer. Because if you wanted to set up a company, then you can set up a so-called SRO company, limited liability company, and then you work as a business owner, as an owner of a company, as a director of a company. But if you're just on your own and you want to freelance, you want to be self-employed in the Czech Republic, then the trade license is the best way to start because it's very easy to set up. The taxation is very low, and the maintenance, unless you run some like shop or a restaurant, then the monthly maintenance is very easy, and you basically only need accountant once a year to do your yearly tax return, but you don't really need an accountant on monthly basis or how like often to just help you with everything. So the trade license is a license allowing you to run business as a freelancer in the Czech Republic. And then there are two types of trade license: qualified, and unqualified. The unqualified one is the standard one. And we always at Move to Prague, we always recommend ideally sticking to the unqualified one. And that has a reason, or a couple of reasons actually, and that's that the unqualified trade license is very easy to get. You don't need to prove, as the name kind of suggests, you don't need any qualification to get the trade license. Basically, you just need to be 18 years old, and you cannot have any criminal record. But besides that, there are no limitations. You don't need to have any qualification or any special education or anything like that. And you can choose out of 82 different trades, which you can include in the trade license, and you can include one of them or five of them or all 82 of them. Doesn't matter. The unqualified trade is or the unqualified trade license is very kind of flexible. On the other hand, the qualified trade license it's different, and that's different in a couple ways. First, if you want to work in some of the qualified fields, qualified trades, you need to prove your education or qualification or experience, or sometimes all of those. For example, maybe what are the qualified trades? Generally, the qualified trades, if you fall under some of them, you need to apply for the qualified trade license. So the qualified trades are those which can, if not performed in a qualified way, which can harm people. So that's, for example, hospitality, like restaurants, because if you don't cook well, then you can hurt people. People can get sick. If it for example applies to manicure, pedicure, because if you don't do it properly and you're not qualified to do that, then you can hurt people. You can get them infection, stuff like that. Same applies to tattoo artists, for example. Again, because if you don't take care of the needles and everything, then you can spread sicknesses and everything. So it's very important that you know what you're doing, and hence these kind of trades which can harm people potentially are considered qualified. And if you want to work in these fields, you need to prove that you have the qualification or education or experience or both of them or all three of the things at the same time. That can be kind of complicated for Czech citizens as well, but especially if you're a foreigner, then getting the qualified trade license might be very, very difficult. Because let's say you want to work as a massage therapist, then you would need to present that you're qualified to run or to work in this field, that you have some massage therapist course or qualification or education, that you studied, for example, physiotherapy at the university. But since you didn't study it in the Czech Republic, whatever it was, if it was just a course like a requalification, or if it was a university, you studied it somewhere outside of the Czech Republic in some other country. And it's very likely that that country doesn't have an agreement with the Czech Republic, that we recognize each other's documents, so that your education in this field in your country is automatically equal to the education in the Czech Republic. So if you want to prove that you have the qualification, it doesn't really matter or doesn't suffice, whatever. It's not sufficient that you have that education or qualification, but you will also need to prove it. So the very minimum you will be required to do is to get the apostille or superlegalization and translation into Czech, which will take some time, will cost you some money. But in most cases, you would need to even do so-called nostrification. I did another video, another live stream about this topic, about the nostrification. So if you're interested in the topic, scroll down to my channel or go to my channel on YouTube, and like you'll find a video about nostrification there as well. But nostrification basically generally is recognition of your foreign diploma or qualification in the Czech Republic. And the process of this recognition can be pretty comprehensive and pretty complex as well. And it can take a couple of weeks or even a couple months in case of university diplomas, for example. So the whole process for getting the qualified trade license can take a very, very, very long time if you need to do this recognition of your education. And I'm back. Okay, I'm back on Facebook. So yeah, if you need to do this recognition, then it could like very much delay the process of getting the trade license. So especially if you're looking into getting a business visa based on the trade license, makes no sense probably to go with one of the qualified trades, because you will spend like half a year just preparing everything, and then you either might not even get the trade license, or even if you get the trade license, you might not get the visa. So it's not really worth it, in my opinion. I would simply go for one of the unqualified trades, and then when you get the trade license or when you get your business visa, then you can start working on the qualified and add it later into the trade license. You can add some more trades in the trade license anytime, so that's not a problem. But it will be definitely easier for you to not deal with that in the beginning, especially if you're not in the Czech Republic yet. Hi guys, Agnel Andrews, hi mate. In Unqualified, what all trade includes? Okay, that's a good question, but as I mentioned in the beginning, there are 82 different trades in the Unqualified trade license. So I don't know them from top of my head, all of them, but the qualified ones maybe are those which can hurt people generally. So those would be all the trades related to food, or like alcohol and like beverages and stuff like that. Also like tattoo artist, manicure, pedicure, massage therapist, things like that. So those would be the qualified. Most other trades are usually unqualified. So like teaching English, breeding animals, producing helicopters as well, like plenty of manufacturing jobs are there as well. IT, cryptocurrencies now, recently they were added there as well. So many, like the trades where you mainly deal with yourself, maybe you manufacture something, but you don't really manufacture something that can hurt people. So of course, if you wanted to produce like guns, you would need to you need to have a special trade license first, and then special like licenses on top of the trade license. But most of the trades generally are the unqualified ones. And I will share a link to the list of unqualified trades when I finish the live stream. So I'll share it here in my Facebook group, and I will share it on YouTube as well. So guys, it will be below in the comments, the list of unqualified trades, all the 82. Yeah, so maybe back to the qualified ones. So generally, if you want to, of course, if you're a massage therapist and you want to do massages in the Czech Republic, then it makes sense that you want to apply for the qualified trade license for massages. That's fine. And we've done it a couple times in the past. So it's possible, but you need to be prepared for a long process and getting many documents, getting them apostille, superlegalized, translated, maybe nostrified. And that can take really, really a long time. So you should definitely not plan on getting a trade license, like qualified trade license, within a week or so, which is the standard time for the trade license. So another kind of something in between, because we receive plenty of questions like that or requests like that, is for example being a Volt or Bolt driver, and that falls still kind of under the unqualified ones, but you need to get some additional permission from the town hall, from the city hall. So it's not that it's something in between. It's not that you need to prove some qualification or education. You just need to have a driver's license, but you need to get an additional permit from the town hall. So it's something in between the unqualified, where you don't need to prove anything at all and you get everything done at the trade license office, and between the qualified, where you need to prove a lot, your education, experience, all this. So driving and the Bolt and Volt and all these deliveries are something in between. So it's definitely doable. We've done a couple of such trade licenses recently. So if you need any help with that, let us know. But that's something in between. And I don't know what I wanted to say as well about the trade licenses. Cool. I'll probably remember. Let's see what Tarun is asking. Can I teach meditation and apply or trade license without having any official study? Well, it depends how you qualify that, because I believe that there are like in the unqualified ones, there is definitely like organizing like sport events, and there is some kind of extracurricular education. So if you put it, maybe meditation might fall under the unqualified ones. Yeah, no, yoga would be, I believe, qualified already. But meditation, it might qualify under that. It also depends on how you know, there is some trade and there is a description of the trade, but it's not covering like 100% cases. So if it's something in between, you can kind of choose which one you want. Of course, it's always better to go for the higher, for the qualified one, because then there is no doubt that you can also do the unqualified thing. But if you're very close to the unqualified trade, there is a very little chance that there will be some problem related to that. Ipshit Chandri, hi, how are you? Ciao. Hey, nice to see you here. Thank you for joining. I'm thinking if I wanted to say something else important about the qualified trade license. Yeah, okay. One thing, if you want to go for the qualified trade license and you don't have the qualification, there is a way to do that. You just need to find a person who meets the qualification requirements, and you can take the person to the trade license office and say, this will be a person responsible for my business. And then you don't need to prove anything. Just the person who will be the person responsible for you needs to prove the education or experience. So it usually works the way we, for example, had a tattoo artist who wanted to do tattoos here, but he didn't have the qualification for the Czech Republic. So he just found the Czech tattoo artist who did this for him, who went to the trade license office and signed a paper saying, yeah, I will be responsible for his business, and that's it. And then this person could also get a trade license because there was someone else responsible officially for the business. So that's another way. And also in some cases, you can also go through a Czech requalification courses here. So if you're a massage therapist in the US, for example, and you want to be a massage therapist in the Czech Republic, you can just go through a massage therapist course in the Czech Republic, and then you will get a Czech certification, and that's usually enough for the qualification, for the qualified trade license. So that's another option how to do that. And I've seen it many times happening before, that if you're a massage therapist somewhere else, then you will easily pass the Czech qualification, because they will tell you, okay, so show us what you do. And if you show them that you know all the moves and that you're already a good massage therapist, they might not even do any exams with you, and they will just give you the paper you need right away. So there are always ways around that. Not always, but there are sometimes ways around that. So if you need any assistance, or if you have any doubts or questions, please get in touch with us, or get in touch with me directly, and we'll be happy to help. Tarun Kumar, thank you. My pleasure. Hopefully that answered your question. And guys, please, if you have any questions, now's the time. Spurtekos, thank you so much. Thank you as well. My pleasure. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And thank you very much for staying with me. It's like 15 minutes after midnight. So thank you for being awake with me. And if you have any questions, please use the time and ask. Ideally, if it's related to a trade license, it will be perfect. But if not, then feel free to ask anything else, and I'll be happy to answer. And if you don't have any questions, I'll be just like weirdly dancing, as you know. That's my signature dance. Very weird and very, very bad. And then I'll go to sleep. So, Spurtekos, are you in the Brno area or Prague? Well, we only have offices in Prague now. We were planning on opening an office in Brno in 2020. That somehow didn't happen, but we go to Brno regularly. We help with some of the job fairs there, and we also have clients in Brno. And especially if you need the trade license, for example, it doesn't really matter where you live, because the trade license can be applied for and issued through any trade license office in the Czech Republic. So even if you live in Brno, we can get a trade license for you in Prague. It doesn't matter. And if you live in Prague 3, we can get the trade license for you in Prague 2, for example. It doesn't really matter. So from this perspective, we can help you even if you live in Brno. But if you're just asking where we're based, that's just Prague. Budok, can you have employee card even if you only have trade license? Well, I'm not sure if I understand the question, because those are two different things. There is employment, where some company is employing you and is paying all the social security, healthcare, and all this on your behalf. If your main purpose or the only purpose of stay in the Czech Republic is employment, then you apply for an employee card. But then if you have an employee card and you keep the job, you can also have a trade license as a side activity, and you can run business as a side activity or on the side of the job. So you can have both employment and business. Then on the other hand, if you have a trade license only and you apply for a business visa, then in most cases you cannot get employed, because to get employed, you would need to have a free access to the labor market, which is difficult to get. Basically only happens if you have a Czech diploma. So if you, for example, studied at Czech university, you got a Czech diploma, and now you have a business visa with a Czech diploma, then you can have the business and you could get employed as well. But in most cases, it's not possible. So if you have an employee card, you can have a trade license and run business on the side. But if you have only the business visa based on the trade license, you cannot really have employment on the side, unless some exceptions. Can hire employee? Of course. If you have a trade license, you can hire employees. You can be considered as a standard employer. You just need to get registered as one. So if you want to hire employees, you will need to pay exactly the same amounts as you would pay as a company. So if you want to hire someone as an employee, you will need to pay their social security, healthcare, income tax, everything which you would be paying as a limited liability company, for example. And you will need to get registered as an employer to all these authorities. So I definitely not recommend doing it on your own. Definitely hire an accountant to help you with that, at least in the beginning, to set it up. Plus, you will anyway need to do salaries every month, and you will need to pay all the social security, healthcare, all this on behalf of your employees. So it's definitely recommended for you to hire an accountant from day one, so you make sure that you don't mess anything up. But of course, you can have employees even under the trade license. That's fine. Sportikos, next time you're in Brno, would like to network with you. Great channel. With so much info, so greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. It was actually kind of interesting for me, because I started the channel not that long ago, maybe like 5-6 months ago, something like that. And then when I went to Brno for one of the job fairs, and it was kind of funny because many people started stopping me on the street, and I went to one Indian restaurant in the center of Brno, and like people were taking photos there with me, like the Indian guys in the restaurant. And it was very interesting. It was very interesting and very kind of new for me that people recognize me on the street. So yeah, of course, if I'm in Brno next time, I'll be happy to meet up if I have time, and I wanted to say we can have a beer together, but I don't really drink, so we can have something else together, maybe coffee or tea. Burok, thanks. You're welcome. If you need any more info, let me know. We'll be happy to help. We don't do taxes or accountancy in-house in Move to Prague, but we have a guy we've been working with for a couple of years, and he's amazing. So if you need an accountant or someone to take care of the salaries and employees and everything, I will be happy to recommend the guy. Okay, guys, any more questions? If you don't have any more questions, I'll be finishing the live stream, and I will share a link to the 82 unqualified trades. So if you find the field of your business in this list, then it means that you can apply for unqualified trade license, so you don't need to meet any qualification requirements. But if you don't find it there, then very likely you will fall under one of the qualified trades, and you will need to prove your qualification and or experience. Spartacus, I'm new to coffee. Love it so far. Let's do it. Okay, yeah. No, actually, I didn't really like coffee before either. But I started drinking it when I was getting very tired, because we've been working long hours. You see, it's like midnight and 21 minutes. And I'm still working. I'm live on live stream, and like I'm not going to sleep right now anyway. And then I will be waking up in the morning, and I go to the foreign police with a client in the morning to get him registered, because his visa was approved, and now we need to take him to the foreign police within 3 days. So from the morning I will be at the foreign police. So I don't sleep much. So I need a coffee, because the caffeine still works for me. I don't drink really coffee because I like it. I don't really care the taste, because there are people who like taste the coffee and say, okay, this is so good, or this is not good, and this has a different taste, and this is bitter, and this is sweeter. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really recognize the differences, but I recognize if there is a caffeine or not. So it still works for me, because sometimes I have days when I drink like 5-6 coffees a day, and then I have couple of weeks when I don't drink any coffee at all. So it really depends on the workload and how much caffeine I need. But yeah, I definitely drink more coffee than beer. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining. Let's say 20 more seconds for a couple more questions if you have. If you don't, then I'll be finishing the live stream. I'll wish you a good night, and we'll see you again on Thursday. Because as you know, I do live streams every Monday and every Thursday. And I also do, if you're not part of my Patreon, you can join me on Patreon, become one of my patrons. And I do special, for example, one-to-one consultations there as a part of the membership. So you can also be part of a special like WhatsApp group where you can message me directly anytime, and I'll be happy to reply and answer any questions. So if you're not my Patreon members, then please join there as well, and you can get some special bonuses there as well. So I don't see any more questions. So again, thank you guys very much for joining. Tis, Spartacus, Burok, Tarun, thank you very much guys for joining. Agnello, of course, you come all the time. So thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye-bye. And again, on YouTube, you have this amazing experience or advantage that you can see me for a couple more seconds, because I first finished the live stream on Facebook and then I finish it here. But I can see that the quality is really bad of the video, because it's after midnight, and so it's only like artificial light, and it's not really good. But anyway, thank you very much, and see you next time. Sleep well, and thank you very much for joining.